So I was really blessed to have lived in Thailand for 9 years, or have a lot of international experience. So yeah, I did spend 9 years in Thailand and my mission in Korea, and I did get to travel quite a bit while I was living in Thailand. They are quite dramatically different. Um, Thailand recently does have a little bit. They're getting some Japanese influence in because they're becoming a first world country, and so if you ever go visit Thailand, actually, I mean, you can stay in places that you can be quite comfortable. Um, the government, uh, my dad was working for NSA, and so the government actually gave us a really nice package. So we were well taken care of while we were there. Um, Thailand, in my opinion, has probably some of the best food in the world. You can go. I mean, Korea has great food too. It's fabulous food, but as far as being foreign friendly and being able to eat just about anything, Thailand is pretty good. They have a few dishes in Thailand that I probably wouldn't eat or I would avoid, uh, especially if you're out on the street. I be careful about going to the street vendors. They just you never know how that's been prepared or how sanitary that is. But on occasion, there are a couple that are pretty good. The differences between Thailand and Korea, though, is that I would say that for one thing, Korea is a little more developed as far as their economy and their infrastructure. And then the culture is quite dramatically different. There's still some culture similarities. It's interesting when you go back in Asian history, a lot of culture and like a lot of their culture heritage and language stems from Chinese. So with Korea, it stems from like a northern dialect, from what I understand. It comes from like a way up north dialect, and so Koreans actually share. I think they even might share some bits and pieces from Mongols, but I can't be sure. And then obviously there's some Chinese influence on the Japanese language, and in Thai language actually, the Thai language comes from Chinese, along with it's a combination of Chinese and Sanskrit, which comes from India. So, which is probably why their cultures are still, why they share some similarities, but why they're also dramatically different. Because Korea has a lot of culture similarities to Japan, which is very, very North Chinese, and then Thai is like Southern Chinese mashed with some Indian culture. And so, like the feeling between the countries when I was there, it was very different. I saw a lot more Buddhism, like Theravada Buddhism, actually specifically in Thailand, and where they wear the yellow robe, and they I didn't see many of the switched swastikas. It's interesting. A Buddhist symbol is a swastika, is like I think a turned or rotated swastika. And so I remember seeing that on occasion in Korea and being like, what? I hardly ever saw that in Thailand, but I'm sure it's probably there, and I just missed it. But Thailand, because it's much more of a Buddhist country, you see a lot more Buddhist temples and ancient Buddhist temples. Thailand has a lot more curries that are really, really good, particularly down south. If you go up north, the food's a little bit different, actually, in northern Thailand. My favorites are, I love the curries there, like Gang Masaman and Penang, and I like Pak Kaprao, which is like this fried spicy pork. They have up north this thing called Som Tam, which is papaya salad. They have really good mangoes. So Thailand has a lot more tropical fruit, which is really good. Absolutely fabulous. Some culture things about Thailand is you can't touch anybody's head. That's very inappropriate. Don't know why. Like, I think it has something to do with their head is clean and your hands are probably not as clean. But I can't remember. But that's something that's probably important to remember. Yeah, like, it's not as developed in Thailand, so you're going to see more poor people for sure. You're going to probably be in areas where they don't have certain amenities that you might require or want, such as a functional toilet. I mean, they'll have that probably in most of your areas. I mean, granted, I didn't serve a mission in Thailand, so I don't know if I'm really qualified to speak of the missionary experience or about missionary housing in Thailand. But the people in Thailand are absolutely fabulous. I mean, they call it the land of smiles just because they're so nice and kind. As far as safety, though, I would be a little more concerned in Thailand. I've known many people who have had their wallet stolen because they were pickpocketed. So just be aware of that. There is a higher crime rate in Bangkok and Thailand. There's a little more violent crime. Typically not to missionaries, though. I've never heard that. One thing that's probably important about Thailand is you do not insult the king or Buddhism in any way. So, and I mean, and insults can run in a variety of ways. We had missionaries in Thailand sent home because they were climbing and taking pictures on a big Buddha statue, and they were deported from the country and sent home. Don't do that. Don't take pictures of Buddhists or Buddha statues. That's very sacred and that's very inappropriate, and you will get yourself out of the country very fast if that happens. So be very careful, be very watchful of that. Do not insult the king. He's actually quite a good man. Granted, he doesn't have a lot of power, but he's done some good as far as being an influence on the country. He's done quite a bit of good. So those are probably some things to keep in mind. Korea is quite a bit more developed, and they're a republic, and so they have a republic government